Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sarah Platt, Child Nutrition Consultant with the Maine Department of Education's Child Nutrition Program, and welcome to our monthly webinar series. Today we are focusing on how to complete the USDA's Paid Lunch Equity Tool for school year 2019. A copy of the tool can be found in the handouts of this webinar. You may wish to have this open to reference throughout the webinar. During today's webinar, all attendees have been placed on mute. This webinar is being recorded so you can view it at any time. Certificates of attendance will be emailed once the webinar has concluded. Now let's get started. Section 205 of the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010 requires that schools participating in the National School Lunch Program ensure sufficient funds are provided to the nonprofit school food service account for lunches served to students that are not eligible for free or reduced price meals. The intent is to make sure the federal subsidy for free student meals does not subsidize paid student meals. This requirement also applies to, this requirement applies to student lunches only, and each year the USDA releases a new target price. The target price is based on the difference between the reimbursement rate for free meals and the reimbursement rate for paid meals. For school year 19, the target weighted average price is $2.92. It is important to note that you are not required to complete the Paid Lunch Equity Tool under certain situations. For example, if your district has implemented Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, district-wide, you do not need to complete this tool. If your district is already charging a weighted average price that meets or exceeds the price requirement, or if the school food service account has a positive cash book balance as stated in NEO as of January 31st, 2018, your district is not required to complete the tool. However, we strongly recommend completing the tool each year so that you have the necessary information should you be required to complete the tool next year. The Paid Lunch Equity Tool calculates the weighted average paid lunch price for school year 2017-18, the required weighted average paid lunch price increase for school year 18-19, and the required non-federal contribution required for school year 18-19 if needed. To get started, you will need your program's completed tool from the last school year because you will need to know your unrounded price requirement. This number changes each year, which is why we recommend completing the tool even if you are not currently required to do so. You will also need a copy of the current Price Equity Tool. If you are not able to locate a copy of last year's completed Paid Lunch Equity Tool for your district, you can always find a copy in NEO under Supplemental Attachments, as seen here on the screen. To access the current Paid Lunch Equity Tool for school year 19, you can download it from our website on the financial page under Resources and Guidance. It is important to note that the worksheet is formatted so that a district may only enter information in the peach shaded cells. As data is entered, formulas populate the appropriate white cells with the necessary information. The worksheet has multiple tabs along the bottom. You do not need to complete all of them. If you do not see a tab that is referred to in the instructions or throughout this presentation, use the navigation arrows to the left of the tabs, as some may not be visible. We will begin by completing the Unrounded Requirement Finder tab. We are now on the Unrounded Requirement Finder tab. This is the first step to completing the PaidLunchEquity tool. You will start by entering the previous year's unrounded requirement into the peach shaded box under Step 1. You will find this number on last year's completed tool. If you do not know the prior year's unrounded price requirement, you will calculate this by determining the weighted average price from the 2010-2011 school year by clicking on the link that says, "If you do not know your FY 10-11 weighted average price, click here." This was the first year price equity was a requirement. Once you know the 2017-18 unrounded price requirement, either from last year's completed tool or from completing the FY 10-11 calculator, you will enter this amount in the peach shaded cell under Step 1. Once entered, the tool automatically determines the price requirement for FY19, which, in this example, is $2.90. The next step is to go to the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab. You do this by clicking on the tab to the right of the Unrounded Requirement Finder tab. This tab is used only if you are not using non-federal funds to offset a price increase. Now we are on the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab. As you can see, the requirement of $2.90 from the previous tab carries over to the top section. This requirement can be rounded down to the nearest 5 cents. So the $2.90 requirement is now $2.85 for FY19. We are still on the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab. Now we will scroll down just a bit to the section that says FY 17-18 Weighted Average Price Calculator. We are going to calculate your current weighted average price, which will allow us to then determine how much of an increase, if any, is needed. We do this by entering the number of paid student lunches sold in October 2017 in the peach shaded cells and the corresponding price. In this example, we sold 2,532 paid student lunches at $2.50 and 5,321 paid student lunches at $2.75 in October 2017. By entering this information, we now have the current year's actual weighted average price, which is $2.67. We will now scroll down to determine where to go from here. We are still on the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab. So far, we know that our price requirement for next year is $2.85. Our current weighted average price is $2.67. And if you scroll down on this same tab, you will see that an increase of 18 cents is needed in order to meet the requirement. This is the difference between the $2.85 requirement and the current weighted average of $2.67. However, there is a 10-cent cap, meaning that you are not required to increase more than 10 cents above your current weighted average. You may choose to, but you are not required to. So now, with the 10-cent cap, the new requirement for next year in this example is a weighted average of $2.77. If you do increase by the 10-cent maximum, this box tells you the remaining amount of the required increase that will carry forward. If your current weighted average price is greater than the price requirement, you will have a credit which can be carried forward in future increases. Still on the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab, Step 3 is optional, but I highly recommend completing it if a price increase is necessary. This is a useful tool that allows you to manipulate prices to achieve the required weighted average price. You will use the same monthly number of paid lunches from October 2017 that you've already entered above. Next, you can split the price increase between your elementary and secondary students, or you could increase only at one level if you so choose. Because this is a weighted average, you will get a greater effect by increasing prices at the level which serve the greater number of paid lunches. In this example, that would be the site that served 5,321 paid lunches in October 2017. When raising prices, you can either raise prices at all levels, such as in this example. Here we raised the lunch prices to $2.60 and $2.85 to achieve the weighted average price requirement of $2.77. Another option is to raise prices at only one site. In this example, the elementary rate stayed the same, $2.50, but we increased the price charged at the secondary level by 15 cents, and this allowed us to reach the weighted average price requirement of $2.77. Another option, if your weighted average price is below the required amount, but your district chooses not to raise prices, is to use non-federal funds to offset a price increase. To do this, you will need to complete the FY 18-19 Non-Federal Calculator tab. This is the tab after the FY 18-19 Price Calculator tab. As you can see, the price requirement of $2.90, excuse me, went ahead too far there. The price requirement of $2.90 and the rounded down requirement of $2.85 is carried over from the Unrounded Requirement Finder tab that we've already completed. The next step is to enter your current weighted average paid lunch price, which in this example is $2.67. We already determined this on the FY 18-19 Calculator tab. We're going to enter the total number of annual paid lunches in the district for the prior year, FY 16-17. So that's the most recent completed school year, 16-17. And we're also going to enter the total amount of non-federal funds contributed to the school food service account for the school years 2012 through school year 2018. In our example here, we entered $76,345 annual paid lunches and $20,000 general fund transfer between school year 2012 and 2018. If you scroll down on this page, you will see that the program has received sufficient non-federal funds and even has a credit carried forward for next year. Now let's see what it looks like when the program has not received sufficient funds. In this example, based on the annual paid lunches from SY 16-17, a non-federal contribution of $13,742.10 is necessary. However, the program has received $10,000 in non-federal funds from school year 2012 to 2018. Therefore, the non-federal requirement is now $3,742.10. The final step, whether completing the Price Calculator tab or the Non-Federal Calculator tab, is to scroll over to the Report tab. You can get there by clicking on the arrows in the bottom left-hand corner of the tool. Here, you will find the weighted average price requirement to use in Step 1 on next year's Paid Lunch Equity tool. In the drop-down box, you're going to select the method used to ensure sufficient funds are provided to paid lunches. You'll either select increased prices or use non-federal funds from this drop-down box. Congratulations! You've successfully completed the FY19 Paid Lunch Equity tool. It is important that you save this in a location where you can easily locate it again, as it will need to be uploaded in NEO as part of your district's annual application packet. It will be uploaded in the supplemental attachment section. Also, if your district selects to use non-federal contributions, instead of increasing the paid student lunch price, you will need to upload documentation of this decision in addition to the Paid Lunch Equity tool. Documentation may include a signed statement from your superintendent or minutes from the school board meeting where this decision was made. If you have any questions while working on your district's tool, don't hesitate to contact our office. You can reach me specifically at 624-6879. This concludes our webinar for today. I thank you for your time, and I hope this has been helpful. Have a good day, everyone.